Again. All right, hey everyone, welcome back to the shop. We're back from the parts store. We're back from eating food. Went to a place called Odie's. They make these great subs, and we are both very full little piglets. We had a very nice dinner. Also met a very cool guy who stopped by. He bought my MSD digital ignition system, and talked with him for a little bit. Super cool guy. His name's Tyler, and he's putting it in a C3 and a 73 Corvette project that he and his girlfriend are working on. So more power to him, and hopefully that works in his system. We started on getting as many boogers as possible on our glasses. And if you're wondering why my shirt's pink, it's because you should not wash your shop clothes with shop rags. I don't care if these things are 20 years old, they're going to dye your shit pink. That's how it worked. It was an accident. I didn't mean to. But that's why my nice CBJ shop shirt is partially pink. If it shows up pink, I don't know if you guys can see it. So anyway, we came back in here. Mark started, he's typical Mark. All right, you ready? Let's do this. And I'm like, oh, dude, hold on. We got to get the live stream going. Mark's like, all right, I'm almost done. I'm like, oh, shit. Okay, well, hang on. Let me throw the camera on and we'll get this done. Because we also have to clean these cars, clean the wheels, get them ready for Sarasota Cars and Coffee tomorrow. So if you guys are going to Sarasota Cars and Coffee, we'll have the Miata and we'll have the Viper there early tomorrow morning. And then don't know what we're doing in the afternoon, but there is a chance we'll either be at Freedom Factory for Summer Nats or we'll be at the Punta Gorda car auction. One of those two. We haven't figured out which one we're doing yet.
Well, we'll be closer to Freedom Factory in Sarasota.
We will be closer. So if we hear from Speedy Cop, then we go meet with Speedy Cop and hang out with him and do dinner with him, then come back here and do cool shit with the limo. Or if we don't hear from Speedy Cop, we go to Punta Gorda. The car auction down there is huge. They have a lot of really, really cool cars, and it's free. So we're going to do something tomorrow that'll be really kick-ass. We'll put it up on social media. I'll put it up. You can follow Mark if you want to as well. He'll put up a ton of pictures too. I'm sure he's so much better at that stuff. So we're going to jam out the other. We have both belts now. We got a brand new one. And I will, if you guys remind me, or Mark remind me, I'll put the part numbers in the description so that you guys can order the right parts. They are Gates belts. I only use Gates stuff on here, and I use Gates stuff wherever possible. They make the best rubber stuff out there, and they've been doing it a really long time. If you want commercial grade, they got it. If they want regular grade, they got it. They have cool products aside from belts. So I use it in the Miata, I use it on the Viper, use it on the limo, and I just use Gates stuff. It's, I've been using it for a long time, more than a decade. So it's good stuff. So we have a new belt here, and I'm going to show you guys. Remember earlier how hard it was to see the alternator. It's gotten a little bit better, but not much. And then the water pump and power, or the air conditioner power steering, a lot more visible, a lot easier to see. The only thing we've really done is taken off the intake tube, which is this guy right here. And that's just a 8 and a 10.
That's all 10s.
Oh, and then Mark didn't take it off here. He took it off at the he took it off at the plate. But that's okay. You can, if you take this off, it gives you a lot more room to look around and work down there. So that's the only thing we've taken off that you guys haven't seen. So we're gonna get a light down there. Mark's gonna we're gonna do a belt tension, and then we're gonna tighten up the pivot bolt. So there's sort of two pivot bolts. There's one main pivot bolt at the bottom, which is the one that walked itself out, caused all these problems. Then there's a second pivot bolt up here that allows the tensioner to pivot. So you want to get your belt tight to where you want it. Then you tighten the pivot bolt at the bottom. Then you come up, double check tension, and tighten. Tighten the tensioner bolt and lock it down. So it's a little confusing, and it's a very tight fit in there because you have the throttle body, the IAC, you have a whole bunch of wiring and a bunch of little tubes and stuff, the EVAP stuff in the way. So I'm going to try and get you guys the best view. Mark's going to be cool enough to crawl under the car and tighten the tensioner. We're working with 14 millimeter. and 12 millimeter, you will want a socket, and you can do quarter drive or 3/8 drive. And then for the pivot lock bolt underneath, you want a closed end combination wrench 14 mil. That's really the only way to get to it while it's still installed on the car.
Or one of these.
Yeah, a ratcheting 14 mil. We see that
That's
bad boy.
12.
That's a 12, but you get the ratcheting guy. This is what you really want, because otherwise you're going to be every time. So if you can get a ratcheting one, it'll save you a bunch of time. So we're going to get some light on there. I'm going to bring the camera over and show you guys. We're going to start on this side of the car where the alternator is, and then we're going to move over to the second belt, and we're going to do the power steering and AC on this side. So the reason you're doing it in that order is because that's how they are distanced. The one closest to the front of the engine block is the alternator and water pump, and then the one further away is the power steering and AC. So I'm going to bring you guys over. I have to get this belt out of the way because otherwise we'll run it over. So that's how my shit works. So let me drop this down too. Hang on a sec here. There we go. Get it down to kind of normal height. And then I'm going to, hold on, I'm going to spin this around. I'm going to grab the camera, see if I can get you guys a good shot. So what Mark is working on down here, not sure if you can see that. I'm going to try and get him some good light, get you guys some good light. You can sort of see the wrench down there, maybe.
Not really.
Yep.
Because I can barely see what I'm doing from up here.
You can see Mark getting on it. That's the top pivot bolt. Yeah, all these wires are in the way. The camera is a little too wide. But there's the top pivot bolt that Mark's working on right there. Yep. And he's got him snugged up. Now he's going to the tensioner, and we're going to get some good tension on that belt. We'll be able to hear it when it starts up. So the tensioner is on the outside there. Can't really see it here. Again, there's so many wires in the way. But you can see the direction that the wrench is going. Whoa, he just magnetized himself. You can see the direction that Mark's turning it, sort of perpendicular to the engine.
Loosen this a little bit so it'll pull.
Yeah. Oh, crap.
What?
All right. Thank you. Yep. Hang on. There we go. So we got to loosen the tensioner, not the pivot bolt, just the tensioner, so that, or sorry, not the tensioner, just the pivot bolt. So, yep, you're on it right there. Yep.
I got AC lines in the way, so I've got to reposition.
Hopefully you guys can see it in there. There's a lot of stuff in the way. Yep, he's on it. You can sort of see the wrench down there. There you go. Now he's off it. Now he's coming back to it. Or no, he's going up to the tensioner, which is at the top end of the alternator up there. And again, he's perpendicular to the engine. So that's how you tension the belt. You can see the new belt right there. Mark's doing the thumb test. You want about, what is it, half an inch of deflection? Quarter to half of deflection. So when you push on it, it should get really tight at about half, and it should be pretty snug at a quarter. There are ways to do that, to measure that without using your thumb, but a lot of the time you can just use your thumb. Yeah, you're pretty damn close. This is also one of those things, we're going to take it on a test drive when we go to clean up the car. So when we take it on a test drive, we'll be able to hear it. If it squeals, it probably needs a little bit more tension. So we'll be able to come back and adjust tension.
I'll just take the wrenches with us.
Yeah, we can do that too. We can adjust down there. So we're going to take some engine clean and clean up some of the leftover stuff.
I'll tighten this front, tighten that up a lot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, I have like a coolant line here for the IAC that's in the way. Oh, yeah. He's getting nice and tight. Yeah.
And once I go do that 14 underneath.
Yeah, we're good right there. You want a little bit of flex on that belt, but again, you don't want it to be super sloppy in there. Now Mark's going underneath. I'm going to bring the light down here for him and see if you guys can see the backside. I think you guys can see the, hang on. You guys will be able to see the bolt come through right there. Just to the right of that belt, you'll see that bolt coming poking through. Yep, Mark's put his finger on it. Yep, right there. That's our pivot bolt. That's the guy who walked himself out. And he's a ratcheting 14 wrench on the other side. Closed end combination wrench. And he's obviously been working himself loose for a long time. Hang on, I think I can zoom in on him. Let me see if I can zoom in. Oops. Yeah. There we go. There we go. We're zoomed in on him. Can you point to him again, Mark, when you get a sec? Yep, that bolt right there. Yep, that's the bottom pivot bolt. That's our main pivot bolt.
Oh, yeah.
Nice and snug?
Yep.
You like how that belt feels?
Yep.
Yep. And he might stretch.
I've really got to push on it to get it to move.
Yeah. He might stretch a little bit too, being brand new. So we might have to come back and adjust him.
Yep.
But, okay. So that guy's down. We have our belt on, which is cool. What are we at? So let me put this out of the way. Got a couple mosquitoes in here. They're just eating me. So now he's tightening up the tensioner and he's also tightening up that pivot bolt. So we're done with that belt, which is actually very hard to see. There you go. You can see the belt right there. So done with that belt. Now we need to come over and do this next belt, which goes from the crankshaft up to the power steering, down to the AC. And that is this belt. So I'm going to switch sides with you. You're okay with that there?
Yep.
Just so I'm not in your way. We're doing this. This is the tensioner lock. Oh, and we need a 12 on that side. You got him? Okay. That one has a different locking mechanism than the alternator one, which has a nut built into that side. So yeah, he's nice and loose. And then, yeah, this pivot bolt right here. I'm going to stretch that over the oil cap. There we go. I'm actually going to take those off the Cerakoting. I'll put them over here. Oh, did that nut just go away?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. We didn't have to take them all the way off, but Mark's looking for the nut that went down there. Damn, that mosquito got me on my left forearm really good.
You need a magnet.
Actually, no, I might be able to roll this.
Oh, you got him? Oh, yep. Okay.
I've lost it now.
Hey, where did he go?
He fell. He's
Is he on the ground?
no, I don't think so.
All right, let me get this off of here. We don't have a good spot for that. So, he's not back there.
It's where he was to begin with.
Okay. Yeah, I can see all the way down. He's not on that. Then yeah, hang on a sec. Hey, there's a receipt down here and some power steering fluid. But he did not go down to the ground.
I don't know then.
Okay.
Just start taking.
Yeah, you can leave that guy there. I don't know where the hell he went.
I don't know either.
Did he go inside? Let me put my hand in there. Yeah, he can't go inside that. He's not on the power steering. And he doesn't have anywhere he could have grabbed over here. This isn't magnetic at all. He's not on the ground.
He is on the ground.
He is?
Yes.
Where? Let me see. Oh, he's a shadow for me to that stain from the power steering. So yeah, for this guy, we don't have to take the nut all the way off in the back. We can do him, yeah, sort of just finger tight like that. And now see how we can move the power steering pump up and down? That's how, because the AC is hard mounted. There's no adjustability there. There's no adjustability on the crank down here. Sorry, we're going to go a little sideways. Yep, you're straight on there. Oh, he goes in this section? No. No. This guy should come.
Well, if you move it up, it's going to pull the pump up. I need the pump down. So I think his bolt does need to come out.
I don't. Okay. Yeah, there you go. He can. Oh, shit. Okay. He came off the crank.
And get it.
Yeah, I'll keep him on the crank if you loop him over. And yep, we're squared on the crank. Sorry, you guys. Yeah, a little flex down, maybe. He was pretty tight in there to begin with. My turn?
Sure.
Sorry, I know that's gross. Oh, sorry, you guys. So I also have this. What's that?
So don't die.
I'm not going to die. I have this weird thing where all of my labels face out towards the person working on the car. So I think the AC is the hardest one to get on. And then a little bump to go on, and there we go. So now we have our belt on. Do we have our nut?
Oh, not right here.
Oh, yep, right in front of me. If it was a snake, it would have bit me. And nothing more annoying than a prop rod. Absolutely nothing more annoying. Oops, come back here. So there we go. Comes through there. Just leave him snuggish. And then we will tighten this. Now, the other thing to do is you have a pivot bolt right here. That is your pivot bolt for the power steering. So,
This is the one I want.
yeah, you have two of them. Just like you do on the alternator, you have two of them here. So this one will get tightened too once we get tension set. So make sure you have access through the little hole right there. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. There's a little bolt. Where'd you go? Right through that hole. So you have two of those little access holes in the pulley. So there's a little bolt right there. You can sort of see him back here. He's directly underneath this guy. So you want to be able to access him and access him. Those are the two we're going to tighten up after we get everything tensioned. Oh, one mosquito bite is all it takes, right? So this guy is loose. And we're on a 12. And this is where electric tools really come in handy. Zing! And again, we're looking for that about half of deflection. So right about there. And again, we can tighten this up.
12 and 12. That's a 14.
Yeah.
There's my ratchet wrench right there on the fender.
It's this guy. I need a deep 14. I can do both of those. Cool, thank you. So I'm going to come in here and oh, this guy has a nut on the back.
I never touched him.
Yeah, I know. It's okay. Here we go. So I'm going to back him off just a touch so that I can tension. And what do we got? Our 14, 12 here.
And the 12 you handed me.
Oh, yeah. Do him by hand. Remember, not too tight, not too loose. And I think we're going to be waiting out thunderstorms because I just heard thunder. So now we can come back and we can tighten these two guys up. This one, and if I remember correctly,
It's a 12 and a 12.
yeah, there's a nut on the back here that is a 17. Yeah, we don't need the 14 or the 12 anymore.
Yeah, we need the 12 still. Or right here.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Can I get the 17 wrench open end? Because then I can tighten the one in the back. There's a big bolt back here at the back side of the power steering bracket. That is the lock, or there's a nut back there. That's the lock nut for, ooh, he might be bigger. He might be a 19. Nope, 17. So that's where he is. So I'll hold him we're going to use the closed end. And there we go. Now we can lock this. Maybe. Yeah, I got it. I'm just going to switch here. Done. So now we're going to lock this guy. There we go. So yeah, Mark, we'll take the, with this, we'll take these and the Deep 14. So these are what's going to come with us. We now have both belts installed. That's it. Miata belts are super easy. It's not a serpentine, thankfully. So if you want to run just power steering with no AC, you can do that. If you want to delete power steering, delete AC, you can do that too. But you should always have water pump and alternator running. That's why those two are on their own belt. This is definitely an accessory belt. So if you give us a couple minutes, we're going to put the wiring back together, all of the intake, our cruise control vacuum lines, and we'll get the car off the jack stand, and then it's going to go to the car wash and get cleaned. And then come back here, and then we're going to go to Cars and Coffee in the morning. Yeah, those clamps. Yeah, and then I put them, can I have those pliers? I do them off to, this petrified hose is killing me. Oh, he's going to rotate a little bit because he's got to come up. I do him off to the side so he doesn't hit the hose above. There we go. That's the last piece. We don't last piece. We don't have anything else to plug in. Just the MAF. Okay. And you got the bolts out.
They're in my hand.
Okay. You got that guy on there. I can't see if they're lined up or not.
Come down. Here, you want to do it?
Let me have one of the bolts. Let me have the other one.
Right there.
I got it. Okay. Yeah, normally I just take it off here. Mark took it off at the sensor. It's kind of 6 of one, half dozen of
Like
the
I
other.
said, I wanted all the room over there for that.
Yeah. And then we plug in the MAP sensor, make sure he clips, plug in our back line for our cruise control, which works wonderfully, correct?
I left that all hooked up. I just let the hose dangle.
We have,
And for
oh, yep. Get these guys. Don't want these bolts backing out.
we had a lightning 14 miles from us.
Oh, okay.
That was 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, might wait on that car wash until the rain passes. There we go. Belts are installed. Car's all back together. Everything's plugged back in. All of our vacuum hoses, and that's it. It's super simple to replace those belts. Like I said in the description, I'll put the part numbers in there. Let me get this. Oh, I smacked my ass really hard with the railing.
There's no rain right now.
Mhm. No rain, just a lot of thunder. So I'll pull you guys back and raise you up a little bit here.
I mean, it's right over top of like downtown Port Charlotte. I mean, there's nothing here. I mean,
Nothing for us?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, let me tilt you guys up a little bit. Whoops, come back down here. There we go. And this thing will just roll randomly. Yeah, see, it just does that by itself. I don't know why. I try and set this up nicely. So Mark's going to do, well, we should get it on.
We'll start it and make sure we don't squeal.
Yeah, okay.
Throw belts off.
Here we go. Here's a test start. No squealing. Check belts quick. What's that? Yeah, no squeal with AC, no squeal with power steering. When you have a loose belt, you'll see it kind of flopping, especially on the large section where it goes from pulley to pulley. You'll see it kind of waving like this. That means you need a little bit more tension in the belt. And there are actually deflection tools you can use. Normally for serpentine belts or for rib belts, multiple rib belts, you want about between 1/4 and 1/2 inch of deflection. So the most you can push it down from where it's currently at to the lowest point, 1/2 inch max. You want between 1/2 and 1/4. So you want like 3/8 is perfect. On a standard single V-rib belt like we have in the limo, what I do is my test is I want to be able to not turn it half, but be able to turn it more than 1/4. So you just rotate it, you twist it. If I can twist it 1/2, it's not tight enough. If I can only twist it 1/4, it's too tight and I need to dial it back. Those are simple rules. Those are basic, very basic for doing belt tension. Actually get a deflection unit and you measure it with tension. That's the best way to do it. The belts will last a lot longer and all of that. Although I've gotten, 50,000. Oh, you guys can see the lightning. I've gotten 50,000 miles out of belts just by doing it by twist. So it is one of those things you check out what works best for. See, it just rotates automatically. I don't want it to rotate. And we're also on the widest setting, right? Oh no, there's the widest setting. So we want it on that. Sorry. So that is it. Miata is working wonderfully.
Let's take one of those with us.
Yeah, we'll take one of the lights with us. We're going to get this off the jack stand. Why is everything tilted? I tilt the camera and then I tilt the screen. So, and now you guys are looking up at the sky. There is no middle ground, right? It's either all the way down or all the way up. So we'll get this off the jack. We'll get this off the jack stand and off the air jack. We'll check the weather, make sure we're not going to get rained on after getting the car super clean. And we're also going to do some cleanup down there. You can see some oil from the valve gasket leaking, clean up some of that. And we also have power steering fluid, obviously, down there. I don't think any of that shit helped keep that bolt in place. So we'll get that stuff cleaned up, and that will hopefully keep everything in place. That's about it. Replacing belts on a Miata is actually pretty simple. The most major, AutoZone, O'Reilly's, Advanced, Pep Boys, Kmart, Walmart, most of those guys carry that stuff and they'll have it in stock or they can have it real quick. Like my local O'Reilly's had it within an hour and a half. All right, loudest sound in the world coming through. Yeah. We had a little fun, not fun, a little issue with the limo and the air compressor line earlier. So that's why we're using the floor jack instead of the air line. But don't worry, it'll be fixed tomorrow. Just this car just tries to kill stuff all the time. So, hey, and you guys get to watch my neighbors come home. So, there you go. You don't really need to see that. That's not as much fun as a cool Miata. So that's about it for tonight. You got a good spot there. You want a hockey puck?
No, I've got the pad here. I just need to take pressure off of this.
The jack stand, yeah.
Yeah, and I can get this out.
Okay.
He's got no room.
Yeah, it's kind of a tight fit with the Miata in here. Weren't really planning on doing this today, but you got it. Close. 2 more pumps and yep, there you go. All right. Oh, I'd do that and then bring that down, but I'm weird. Okay, so Miata's down. You guys can see that coming level. There you go. We're all good under the hood. Hey, that rhymed. That'd be a great name for a show, wouldn't it? All good under the hood. I'm facing the wrong way to do that Titanic thing. Yeah. So that's it.
Down here, huh?
What's that?
You just gonna leave me down here, huh?
There's not enough room with jacks and jack stands and stuff for me to get in there and get you leverage. So he works out way more than I do, so he's fine.
Shit.
Thanks you guys for hanging out tonight. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and hopefully you saw how easy it was to work on the Miata belt. It can get really frustrating because you don't have a ton of vision, especially on the alternator stuff. But if you use your hands and your fingers, you can actually get to that stuff. The hardest one is that main pivot bolt for the alternator. It's best to come up from underneath and access it from underneath, because otherwise, like I said, you got to go in, behind, and back in order to work that bolt. So the best way to do it is go straight up from underneath. And that's about it for tonight. We're going to be doing more limo stuff tomorrow. The limo now starts and runs and drives and stuff. We're going to do some test drives tomorrow, Sunday. We're going to make sure everything is working. The carb runs great. It obviously uses a shitload of fuel, but the car sounds really good. It's way too loud for what I want it to be, but it sounds, yeah, Mark's like, no, it sounds perfect, man. It's running not rich, not lean. It's running right in the middle. So we're still on the very safe side of how much fuel we're using. And so we'll do some more limo stuff coming up in the next few days. And also, I'll put the steering wheel back on it. I had the steering wheel off to clean it. We're doing wiring underneath. So we get the steering wheel back on there. We get some cool wiring done. Also, I want to show you guys, I figured out, yep, keep going.
Don't roll very well. I was going to skateboard the jack back to the corner.
It's all right. So I figured out the key off issue and why we were having a problem, even with the diodes. The diodes were actually working correctly. I'll show you guys why, and I'll show you my fix for it, because 80s electronics and how janky they left this whole thing for me. So we'll do some electronic stuff in the limo, and we will also have the new gauges. So we have oil pressure, coolant temp, and voltage. We also have the air pressure gauge for all the bags, and we also have the fuel gauge, which is probably the biggest thing. This car hasn't had a fuel gauge in, I'd say, at least 30 years, maybe 25, 30 years. So yeah, it's a big deal to have a working fuel gauge in there. That's it for tonight. Everyone, please have an awesome, safe weekend. Go do a lot of cool, fun stuff. Be smart about it. So you can come back here and hang out and do cool stuff with us. And if you have any questions, comments, whatever, please put them down there. Shoot me a message. You can reach me on Facebook, Instagram. You can shoot me a text. Hell, you can call me. And I'll try and get those questions answered for you guys. If there's something you guys want to see specifically, how wheel bearings work, hood ornaments, cool or fool, whatever. If there's something really specific you want to see, how do I wire my stereo? How do I do underglow? Shoot me a message and we'll try and do some detailed stuff coming up in episodes. We'll show you how to do cool stuff like that. I want to show you guys the headlights when the prototypes are complete and they're working. I really want to show you guys the headlights on the limo. I think you're really going to like them. I've never seen anything like it before. Never before. So that's about it. And I want to do some test drives with you guys. I'm going to do some mobile live streaming. And so we'll hook up the camera, get the hotspot going, and we'll do some drives around the neighborhood with the limo, and you guys can sort of ride along with. So hopefully that'll be kind of fun for you guys. I think that's about it. Don't forget to show someone that you love them today. Give them a kiss on the cheek. Give them a kiss on the tip of their nose. Hold their hand. Give it a squeeze. It's really important for them. But like Miatas with new belts, it's really important for you. All right. Thanks, everyone. We will catch you later on this weekend. Everyone have fun, okay? All right, cool. Stay safe. What a fun little car.